They it is June the 1st, 2025, and earlier I shot a video about 30-minute long. It was a long one. Some sort of helicopter up above. I don't see it, but I hear it. Can you hear it? There's also a dog drinking water, and she's drinking it quite loudly. I'm looking up in the sky for this helicopter, and I don't see it, but it is ominous. Might keep checking for it. Earlier I had made a video in regards to both these men. I mentioned a lot of men, but in regards to Maitre Mark for one, BJ Penn for another. I also made reference to Tim Dillon and Cash Patel and people like Bart Fine. We talked a lot on the previous video. I think you should watch it when you got time. But as a follow-up, here's the thing. I want to follow up with both these individuals, both legends in their own right. BJ Penn, Maitre Mark. I was doing a little bit more research, trying to find out, get down to the bottom of this situation. The situation of BJ Penn. Allegedly, he's been accusing some lady of replacing his mom and trying to be his mom now. Alright, like they got rid of his mom and now has replaced her with an actress or somebody trying to take her identity. We don't know too much about it, too deep into it. But allegedly, BJ Penn was also arrested recently. In fact, 2 times. 2 separate times he's been arrested, and I'm not sure why. The first one was harassment, but I'm not sure of what the hell that means either. Trying to get to know some more information. Of course, if you go on YouTube or the internet in general, you might find a lot of people very, very sure of themselves, sounding very confidently, talking about things that they may or may not have any idea what they're talking about here on the internet. As you can imagine, there's plenty of people out there putting their own video up about BJ Penn, and a lot of these people, I've seen her doing very, very, what you might call like hatchet jobs, like hack jobs. On BJ Penn, talking about how he's crazy, talking about how he's got CTE, diagnosing him as a crazy schizophrenic, and he needs to be put away, put on medication, or both. Plenty of people on the internet saying that, and they had their facts and they had their research, and oh, they must be so proud of themselves. But in a day like today, in which certainly you have any Tom, Dick, and Harry and Sally running around thinking they could do hack jobs on people. Oh, why? Because it gets the views. Oh, why? You're going to talk about this person like you're better than this person. You have more morals than this person. Talk about this person like you have some sort of personal beef against this person. And why? Because the video sells, people view it. You get all sort of views from your trash talk, your hatchet jobs, your hack jobs. There's plenty of people out there doing that, and they do have their facts. Now, 2025, it's a concern. You might be concerned your mom was disappeared and replaced by some other lady. BJ Penn is making that accusation from what I understand. Repeatedly. It could be an actress. It could be a complete total drone of you. An individual drone of you. Got a dirty dog right here trying to distract me. It's not going to work. Could be a drone that replaced your mom. Maybe they made a drone of your mom and replaced her. Unfortunately, technologically speaking, all of this is possible. It's definitely something that they could do if they wanted to do. But how practical is it? All right. So I went to do a little bit more research. I checked out some of these hatchet job videos that you see up here, up above my head right here. All sort of shorts, talking mess. All right, talking mess about BJ Penn. He's insane. We need to lock him up. He's a danger to the public. It's basically what they're insinuating. So here's one thing that I tend to do, and I'm thinking about it, and the more I think about it, the more it probably should be a rule, especially in 2025. Because people love to go on the internet and they look up these videos, trash talking, taking down, destroying some human being. These are very popular videos that people make. Meaning the demand for these videos are very high. Who's demanding these videos? People who want to know more, but people who also want to judge people because they want to perceive themselves as very good people even though they're not. So they'll tend to flock to these sort of short videos and these videos in which you're talking a mess about BJ Penn. Now, whether it's BJ Penn or anybody else, Alex Jones, anybody, you cannot listen to what other people have said about them and make a judgment. I know most people do. It is retarded. That's a retarded thing you do. If you really want to judge a person, you must also give them the mic. They must not only talk about whatever they want to talk about, but talk about it at whatever length they want to talk about it about, and you must listen. And if you don't, which these people don't, people making these videos, they don't. If you do not choose to listen, then of course you're not going to know what the fuck you're talking about. So check this out. I mean, it's all recent in which BJ Penn's been arrested. They're saying he's a psychopath. They're saying he's on a CTE. They're saying he's a schizophrenic. They're saying all these things about BJ Penn. But here's an interview from only, what is it, 4 months ago. I don't know if it says right here. Let me click on it real quick. All right, check this out. 4 months ago. And just as I've seen BJ Penn before, he's a pretty articulate guy, pretty entertaining guy, and pretty damn well normal individual. If you see BJ Penn, who's that right there, you would probably perceive him as not a schizophrenic. However, you start really diving into the world of politics, finding out the truth of the matter of what's going on. Lots of times you'll talk about topics that make people uncomfortable. And once you start talking about these topics that make people uncomfortable, the regular Joes and Sallys out there who feel uncomfortable by what you just said, they're going to start to deem you as insane. And any sort of little tiny morsel of proof that maybe you're insane, they're going to dive on it like hyenas. This is how they operate. This is their MO. You're not going to change them. You're not going to save them. These people who do this, they can't wait to see you as guilty. So to hedge yourself against that, what you have to do is go on to a long form interview, and you'll notice, thank God, because God stepped in at just the perfect time to make long form podcasts a real thing, in which there's a wide enough reach that anybody can and will talk to anybody, no matter how insane you want to say they are. You might have all these facts lined up about how this person, BJ Penn, is insane, and he's flying off the rails and stuff. Thing is, he's on a long form podcast with Jake Shields. I know you want to call Jake Shields insane as well. This is your MO, is to make everybody seem insane and call them insane, and you think you're a good person and you get views on your videos, right? But you're not a detective and you don't know shit about anything. You can go to this podcast on YouTube, 4 months old, BJ Penn, with the man Jake Shields on his Fight Back podcast. You can go to various chapters, whatever chapter interests you. I, of course, went to the Hawaiian fight culture and then the politics and governance in Hawaii. Oh, let me listen to this man, this schizophrenic man, this insanely violent, out of control man, talking about politics and governance in Hawaii, challenges in politics and fundraising, the cost of living and food security, growing local food and agriculture. This is a crazy, insane man. He must be stopped because he's insane. Growing local food and agriculture in Hawaii. Energy solutions and sustainability. Don't be talking about this. You're insane. And as you can imagine, if you wanted to check out, that portion of this here podcast, I do believe you're going to find a man who's very coherent, pretty articulate, pretty entertaining, talking about some real ass solutions, things that people wouldn't want him talking about, the type of things that make certain people smear your reputation and label you as a crazy person and lock you up somewhere. Alright, but before we get off, I just want to wish him, BJ Penn, the best. I want to wish you the best. Alright, and I'm not going to just assume you're a schizophrenic until I have proof. These days, all these hatchet jobs, you can listen to them. That's all they are. Also, you might see AI videos of BJ Penn saying some weird off-the-wall stuff. Guess what? Technology exists. You could do that. All right, and you can get away with it, sneaking around, posting videos of BJ Penn saying God knows what. But it's kind of harder. It's kind of harder because to imitate BJ Penn on the Jake Shields podcast, because if you put out a video clip of an artificial AI BJ Penn and Jake Shields podcast, it would be easily detectable to not be part of the podcast. This is the way we get to know people. We ask them to talk, and if they're willing to talk, we listen to them and find out whether or not they're insane. Because insane people are going to leave clues. They are going to say the wrong thing. You'll be able to research it and see that it's wrong. No, BJ Penn, he seems quite normal, quite level-headed only 4 months ago, but people want to say he's got CTE and he's some sort of killing machine. All right, one thing I want to leave off with BJ Penn, the whole interview, very worthwhile. BJ Penn, I remember he said this one thing, and he's talking about Hawaii in particular. I can tell you that does seem to be the case about Hawaii, but anywhere in the world. He posed one question. He said this is for anybody to answer, an open-ended question. He said, if you never ever have to think about where your next meal is coming from, are you rich? So anybody can answer that any sort of way that they want to. If you were to ask me if I never had to worry about where my next meal is coming from, yes, I am rich already. And not only that, not only are you rich, and the fact is you don't have to worry where your food's coming from. He's talking about Hawaii. The fact is that they don't grow any food there, even though they could grow all the food there if they wanted. No, they're not allowed to grow their own food there. And so people do have to worry about what's their next meal going to be. The cost of living's outrageous in Hawaii. These are the types of things a schizophrenic is rambling all on podcasts about. The cost of living is outrageous in Hawaii. You're living in Hawaii where food should be growing off the damn ground, and you should be able to find food everywhere you look. and yet you're not allowed to. I think not only would you be instantly rich if you never had to worry about where your food's coming from, but you would not be able to help but build wealth on top of that. There'd be no way you wouldn't build wealth on top of that. I mean, think about your grocery bill. Think about over your lifetime how much money you're going to spend on your own food. Oh, is that a lot of money? Oh, could you save all that money? But they won't let you do that. And in Hawaii, that's a big problem. If you never have to worry about your next meal, are you rich? Are you a rich person? He's talking about artificial cost of living, everything. Why don't you just lower the cost of everything, and then people would be instantly rich? And also, we do have Maitre Mark. Right? Mention him. He was the inspiration for the whole previous video. And I'll give you a little taste of his latest video. He dropped it only like 18 minutes ago, it says. He's breaking. Alright, hopefully you can hear it pretty good, but I want to play it back just a little bit because he's about to say something. And that he repeats in the song, but I want you to hear it. It's very important.
I've got something to tell you, something that you might not like. Something to tell you, you've been lied to your whole life. We don't need no stinking governments. All a scam. Why do you let them rule over you? They're only there for the perks of corruption.
Alright, so let me turn it down because I'm not just trying to like have a very long video. You can go check out, of course, Maitre Mark. Very easily here on YouTube. He's the man. This is his busking ant video, which is I think his most recent video. Obviously, it's like 18 minutes old. Get a taste of that style. This man like emits music from out of his pores. This man is melded with his bass guitar right here. It's such a supernatural way that it gives me the chilly willies. Alright? The style, the hat, the mustache. I don't have to say nothing to you, alright? I know badassery. Anyways. He was talking about the government. He said it's all scam and stuff. We don't even need no government. It's all a scam. In which I totally agree with the sentiment, obviously. But I will add a little tweak to it. Alright? It is a scam. Of course it is. Scamming the shit out of us, and that's the whole point. But BJ Penn, back in the video, the interview, what I was checking out, he did have a suggestion that I agree with as well. He said, if you want to really, really know how things work, if you really do, beyond just what you've read, what you've heard, what you think you know, if you really, really want to know, if you're curious, he said you have to run for office, and there is no other way, because the inner workings and stuff like that, you got to really see how the sausage is being made in order to really see how gruesome it is behind the scenes and know for sure. So I agree with both these legends, these individuals, these men of macho madness. Government is a scam. It's scamming the shit out of you. Politics, the politics that they talk with you about is like you're a retard. Y'all get all worked up over it and passionate over retard stuff. It is a scam on you. That was the whole point. However, from what I'm seeing, and I already kind of knew this, but now it's really hitting home. You have to be in politics, meaning the government is a scam. We shouldn't have the government. We should not have government because we should be the flipping government. And I don't mean like some weird coup or some insurrection. I'm talking about organically, through education, through effort, through a movement of the people. We should all be we should be the gosh dang government. If we're not actually an elected official, elected officials should be scared of us. And I don't mean like in a violent sense. I mean, they should be scared of displeasing us. Any elected official who wants my respect, you better talk to me personally and tell me how much you respect my freaking opinion. All right? Or I don't give a damn about your politics and what you're trying to do and what you're trying to get. It is a scam. We need to be more self-involved because not only is it a scam, but it's inflicted upon us without our consent, no matter what we do. So I think that's really the only answer, something that BJ Penn kind of suggested. We need to take over the government. People didn't realize. People always thought it was boring. People thought it was this and that. People thought it was a job for someone else. We were trained to be slaves. We should be the government. People should be afraid to displease us. We should all be rich and never worry about our next meal ever again. And we could have that, except we got some overlords who do some diabolical shish. Alright, I'll holler at y'all maybe tomorrow.